We not
Yeah, we
live.
live now.
We like
Yes, we
Oh,
are.
now he just hit the button.
I think that's a good conversation to have on the live. You
Well,
got your drawers on.
y'all got to be backstage. You got to
You
be
can't pull up your
backstage.
big boy drawers if you ain't got none on.
Oh well.
Hey,
I
I'm
mean,
just talk. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I mean, if you ain't got them on, you ain't got them on. And you ain't got to have them on because who said you got to have them on?
Them, them people,
Them
and,
people.
and we all know what they say,
They
but
probably
we
got
still ain't
hoes
figured
in
out
there.
who. But we still ain't figured
This,
out who they is.
we don't know who they is, and that's why we got what? Angel?
You know,
I said they probably
uh,
got hoes in this.
Or they probably got holes in theirs.
they do.
Maybe they do. That's easy access, easy hookup,
Mm, mm.
All right.
All right.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. What's up, everybody? I'm Brysen from Sweet Spot Media. Thank you so much for joining us. I am with the divine and illustrious genius friends of mine, Angel Simmons, relationship coach, LeAnzar Stockley, everybody coach, um, just everybody. They have too many titles now. Like I remember, like back in the day when they had like one or two titles, that was cool. Now they have like 10 titles apiece. So I just be like, so. Everybody say hello to Angel and LeAnzar, okay?
Hey, Angel and
Hey,
LeAnzar
Leanza.
and Bryson.
Hey, Bryson.
Hey, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. You are on another journey with us. This show is called Hookups, Hangups, and Situationships from hosted to ghosted. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back.
Mm.
Hookups, Hangups, and Situationships from hosted to ghosted. Is there somebody at your window?
You said for the
Oh,
people in the back. So
Oh,
I
you
was
did?
looking.
Oh,
I was about to
he's like,
say. I was going to say, wait a
I was
minute.
looking. Oh, Merrick, you better have been here because this show is
oh,
this
God.
is
So
you the
this is an
reason.
This
amazing.
show is inspired by Merrick.
Yeah,
Inspired
yeah.
by
Where
Merrick.
is he here? I was
Yep.
He
just.
just got in there. But we couldn't use the terminology he suggested, though, because,
No,
We cannot
I
no,
mean,
use
I
like
would have used it.
Merrick.
I would
no.
have used it, but
I'm saved all the way.
the legal department said, you know,
Yeah, yes. We are glad, Merrick. If ain't nobody else here, we are glad you here. I know I am, and
Yeah.
it's a whole novel set. Okay, you be typing
Okay. Okay.
fast.
Okay. Okay.
You be
Couldn't
typing fast. So this show stems from our last show, which was entitled "What Angel."
what we won't do for
What
love.
you won't do for love. And that show talked about some of everything, obviously specifically what you won't do for love, but this is like a spin-off. Ain't that what they called it, like on TV, a spin-off?
Ooh.
And we got into the specifics or the non-specifics, if you will, of relationships and how people just kind of go on and carry about in their connections with people. Here we go. Here we go.
I'll take 3 copies.
So definitely happy. See, you got Merrick. Here you go. You got me twisted already. Definitely happy to have my genius friends with me on the show. We're gonna call it a journey because it's we're gonna go through some things. We're gonna explore some things together. We've agreed to explore some things together with this. So this is gonna be fun. This is only the beginning. It's about to be bananas, y'all. So make sure you guys tune in. I want Angel and LeAnzar, I want you guys to go ahead and give a little tidbit about yourself and go ahead and drop your info early. So if people want to check you out now, start following now, curious now, go ahead and provide that information for them. Please and thank you.
All right. Well, I'll drop it. My name is Angel Simmons. I am a relationship coach, also a grief and loss coach. I am the author of Love's Great Design and Target of Love. Love's Great Design is a 52-week devotional based on human relationships, and Target of Love It's all about surviving narcissistic abuse. Thank you so much. She's rocking one of the love quote tees. Don't just say it. Live the love. Don't pull it up too much. Don't
Oh,
just say it. Live the love. Bryson's rocking that T-shirt. Thank you so much. But you can grab the books on my website, as well as any merchandise that is still available. And that's what we do. Got a whole bunch of other titles, but for tonight, we dealing with relationships and situationships, and I'm excited and terrified because this is not scripted. And when she say journey, that's what she mean. Because we don't know where we going. Just ride. Just come on for the ride. You know me. And I say, come get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the
buckle
car.
up.
Get in the car. That's all I'm saying. Put five on the gas, but get in the car. And
No, $5 ain't gonna get you
well,
nowhere
oh, you
nowadays.
right. You right. That's a different. Okay, give me a dub. Grab a dub and come on ride with us.
Mr. Stockley.
And I'm LeAnzar Stockley. I am a relationality specialist. That means all things relationship, and from spirituality to your boo, to your coworkers. Author of 2 books, well, technically 3 books, but I only really promote 2, which is Relationality and Relationship Ready. And I'm gonna do a whole bunch of other stuff in the mental health, behavioral health, relationship, spirituality field. And that's it.
Y'all don't give y'all fancy because y'all got websites and stuff. Y'all don't give y'all social media
My
anymore.
website, yeah, right. No, my website is www.leanzarstockley.com. Social media handle is right there, at Society61. And, yeah, post, different content and stuff like that to help us have good relationships. I just want us to all be good. Just don't want us to all be good relationally. So
Okay.
that's it.
Hey, go to the website and you can follow me everywhere I am. Loves Great Design on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. What you want? What you want?
No,
I
you
might
can't
do that.
follow her everywhere. She
I
don't even
might
let
do
people in
that.
her house.
Well, you got
Hey,
that.
say it
Listen,
again.
Mm. How many
listen.
times you been in her house, Bryson? Okay, I'm just saying. Me too.
This the
Now
Me Too movement.
I
This
done been
the Me Too
outside.
movement for the night.
I done been
I've been
outside the house.
outside. I've been
But you could
outside
just
the house.
you could pull up, I'll come out, or you could drop me off right here, or meet me right here on the corner.
it's
Rude.
it's
Just
probably them
rude.
situationships you got
Them
up there.
situationships. I'm
You
about
don't
to tell
know. You
y'all
don't know
about
what's going on in my house. You don't
That,
know.
it. We don't.
You
that
We
don't
don't.
exactly that's the point.
You're right. We don't.
too much.
We
And
don't.
and who are you, ma'am?
Oh, I'm oh thanks. This whole 30 minutes before this show, if y'all only knew. I'm Brysen, guys. You can follow me at the original Brysen on Instagram. That's the best way to catch me. And I am the host of Sweet Spot Media. Sweet Spot Media is loving on all the creatives, all of my independent geniuses who are doing their thing, bringing to you the culture and everything under the sun. All things surrounding everything that's going on in this entire world. And I am happy to share this platform right now with 2 of my favorite brainiologists.
Mm.
I like that.
Brainiologists.
I like that.
Again, this is hookups, hangups, situationships from hosted to ghosted. I'm not gonna lie, I have to look down and read it every time because it's a whole bunch of words, y'all, and it's a little tongue twister. But hookups, hangups, and situationships. What is that? You ask. I'm glad you asked. All
Ah.
right, I'm glad you asked. So, hookups. That's the sneaky link. The sneaky link. The sneaky link. The like moist mouth Monday type of situation. Set it off Sunday. Tantalizing Tuesday.
I believe
Mm.
I believe the urban definition is meeting for the purpose of sex.
Wait, meeting for the purpose of sex. So, and that's what a hookup is, the sneaky link. That's the sneaky link. That's the new terminology. Hooking up, connecting for the purpose of sex to get your sexual needs met.
Mm.
Okay. Hangups. What you hung up? Bang, bang, bang. What you hung up on? What's a hang up, LeAnzar?
I think a hang up is just some of the reasons that keep people from, why they ain't in these relationships. They different hang ups that they have that makes sometimes make the hookups not work, or makes us go to hookups because we got so many hangups. Can't nobody committing to being actually be in a
Mm,
relationship with anybody. So, or how we take all of this relational stuff. So
I
that's what I
like that.
think.
And I like that. I like that, and I wanted to get your because this is going to go places, and I wanted to get your insight, your quick definition of that before we even got started. So hookups, hangups, and situationships. I'm going to read to you guys what a situationship is, because that's kind of newish over the past few years. It's become heavy on the scene. Situationship is an entertaining, complicated, in between phase of being more than friends with benefits, but also an arrangement that deems you to be less than official relationship partners without a label, where two people haven't committed to being anything official for specific reasons. These people are usually confused on what they really have with each other. So they just go on with the flow until someone drowns.
Mm,
Mm, mm.
mm.
So I know that was lengthy, but that said a lot, literally. Let, let's see. Okay. They be confused. They be confused, Merrick. Well, let me, if in case you were curious, because we kind of know what a hookup is. We know what the hangups are. LeAnzar explained that very well. And situationship, since we're getting into that, and Merrick is very excited. Merrick, I cannot wait to hear your stories. Um, I just want to be who I am to you guys, to everybody on this platform, to everybody that's watching. And if you are interested, because we're coming out of COVID a little bit, going into safer times is what I'll say. We're going into safer times. We'll still be smart. Um, so you might want to get outside. You might want to see some. You might, buy you some tickets to the event now. You might get out and shake a tail feather. You might, re up your thing on the dating apps and whatnot. But you're not quite sure because you've been closed in for so long. So maybe a situationship is kind of up your alley. Maybe that's what you need. Let me help you with the situationship starter pack. I'm gonna let you know. This is how you know you are in, or you want, or you're looking forward to a situationship, okay? This is the starter pack. Listen, you don't want anything serious. You can have sex though. Number
Mm,
3, go with the flow. Number 4, still don't want a relationship. Number
mm,
5, you can have sex though.
mm,
Number 6, don't
And wait
talk
a
to
minute.
anybody else.
Oh,
Number 7, a
oh,
bond is better than a title. Let that one marinate. A bond is better than a title. Number 8,
I'm gonna write
we
that down.
don't need a title. Number 9, unofficial but loyal. Leave you itching, I know. Number 10,
it's good. It's good.
not together but don't act single. That is your situationship starter pack. That's your
Woo!
Man, look.
all right. You want me to
Mm.
go over it real quick again?
Mm-mm,
I'm gonna read through them. You want me to read?
Ain't
No,
miss
y'all good?
nothing. Ain't
Everybody
miss
good?
nothing.
Okay. Live should allow gifts because I got some good ones coming to mind. And this is why they don't allow them, Mary.
Ah,
Mary.
they should allow them though.
So
Wow.
so
Wow.
my geniuses, talk to
oh,
me.
oh,
I could
I,
see like your whole levels, like I could see
oh,
everything. Like that was so raw. So raw.
oh. I think I got stuck on the Don't talk to nobody else. And we ain't together but loyal. It, no, no, man. No, no. It's too much. It's too much. Oh my goodness. I remember I don't know where this quote came from. When love is absent, rules are necessary. And what you just
Mm.
gave us were the rules of engagement for a situationship. It ain't got no love in it. Because you wouldn't need all that if you were in a committed relationship. Because it is what it is. It's a committed relationship. If it has a title and it's committed. Situationship,
Mm.
somebody holding the power to this thing.
Oh,
It's somebody that's holding the power to this.
see that
And
was that it
somebody is
was
going along with whatever it is.
or being strung
And it's not
along with
mutual.
whatever
Or
it
being
is.
strung along. It's never, I don't think situationships are ever mutual.
You don't think it's 50-50?
Never. Absolutely never.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hmm. Yeah,
Never.
it's
Say
interesting.
more.
It's interesting because I got stuck on but we can have sex though.
Mm.
Which one?
So
Number
what
two,
it was
number two,
two,
or number five?
both of them, just the
Both
fact,
of
just the whole fact of, but we can have sex though.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's almost the culture period. It's like I just actually told somebody earlier today that I feel like I'm behind a little bit. I said maybe I need to watch porn more, be a little bit more polyamorous, and become a little bit more of a player, because it's almost like you're lame if you don't do all of those things, or you're sex negative if you don't believe in all of these extra marital, relational, promiscuous, um, multiple partner ideas or whatever. So it's like, but yet and still, everybody kind of will recognize that there's something that makes everybody go crazy over sex. So sometimes to me it would seem like that these things would but we can have sex though. We can do everything else that looks like a relationship, or we can do everything that looks like it may be a relationship, but it's really just a situation, because really I'm only using you for the sex part, which I could technically do by myself, but most people like the extra party involved or whatever. And again, it's not so much to say that against people just being able to sleep with who they want to, but I think what we don't take into account is that people's emotions actually get, sometimes our emotions and our heart have gotten a relationship quicker than our head has, and quicker than our body has.
did we show that
Mm-hmm.
already?
So we can do all this stuff, but or we can call it this or call it that, but or not call it this or that, but we can have sex though. We can do that part because that part ain't gonna hurt us.
So you think?
So we think.
Mm.
That part ain't gonna bind us.
So
So
you
we think.
think?
Hmm.
Right. Chris says when it'll start, when it'll stop, when they want it, when they don't, and how much of themselves they're truly really giving.
One sided. It's always one party that has the power. And it's typically is somebody who wants to be with this other person, but because they're not in a committed relationship, they're accepting whatever bits and pieces and crumbs they're getting, um, in hopes that it will turn into a real relationship. So they putting out all of they self whenever you need me, whenever you call, whatever's going on. And there's this other person that's holding the line and telling everybody when and where and how.
And
So
it,
you
and
don't
see,
you don't think there's a possibility of, there's just no way, zero, absolutely zero possibility of an agreement on a situationship.
Nope. And if it is,
I think,
somebody lying.
ooh,
Okay, somebody lying, LeAnzar, go ahead.
say somebody lying. I
Somebody.
think, sometimes I think that there's a reason, like she said that, yeah, somebody, wants somebody or whatever. But it's like, do we get with anybody that we don't want in some kind of way? I mean, it's like somewhere you want something from this person. So is it really just, what is it that blocks us from actually saying, hey, this is actually going to be a real relationship with this person? I think that's where our hangups and all these other things may come into play. Because there's people we all know. You sleep with them. I sleep with you, but I don't want to be with you. But then we make a certain type of commitment because we'll call, originally, one of the statements that was made, even with the suggestion of this show, that somebody would be considered an F buddy, right? F buddy to me implies somebody that you don't just sleep with one time. You're sleeping with this person on an ongoing basis. You build a specific type of relationship because a situationship is a relationship. I think the thing is it a mentally stable one or a mentally healthy one? Because then it has us confused. Because I think one of the definitions was you're confused on what we really are, But it's like there's something in there where we all. It's got to be something that is drawing you two together. Now it may
That's
not be
it
nothing
right there.
deeper. What they just want, they just want, they just want the peen and the. Oh,
Yes, yes.
But
yeah,
yeah,
and that
that's
could,
just
yeah.
something that they
But
want, and
but you
even
know what?
that.
But that's also a marriage. That's also I've seen and counseled couples where really the only reason some people, especially if you start talking about religious folks, let me listen. Some people get married because they want to have sex without feeling like they're in sin.
Mm,
They
that's
want the peen.
that's
They don't necessarily want
that's
everything else that comes
reality.
along with it.
Hello, hello, hello.
Who you calling?
Because listen, we have because I mean, and I've said in conversations I've had with people on Facebook all the time. You go back and forth, and you say, if you took the sex away, would you still be in a relationship? And most people say no. Most people say no. There's some people who's like, nah, no, I would still be with this person, blah 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 blah. But a lot of people and most people say no, and then they can deal with a whole bunch of other stuff sometimes. So it's like I think sometimes this, and again, this is not a generalized statement to say everybody because it's not
Mm-hmm.
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like sex is a huge part of why people are together, why they stay together. And we've added things like money and we share dreams and we share whatever. Sometimes I think people say that just so you don't look stupid. But the biggest truth is the peen juicy? I mean, is the peen good? Or you know, does the vag got swag? I- you know.
Not the bat scream. I have never heard that one. You got me.
That must be some Vegas
That's
terminology.
got to
'Cause
be some West
I
Coast,
ain't never heard of that.
because we don't say that in Chicago. But I'm
You
gonna
don't
use
tell.
it. I'm gonna use it. Yes, take a listen to the interludes on Jasmine Sullivan's latest project. Those women are speaking the truth.
Hmm. Is that the one she did with
Hotels,
the very last one? Yeah, okay.
hotels.
Mhm.
I think that's what he's referring to. That is a bad album. I have
Mm-hmm.
not listened to it through and through, but she's definitely dropping some knowledge. But I mean,
Mm.
you know,
Two things just said. Mm.
yes, I think that I'm perplexed. You see it on my face because you said it's unhealthy. I noticed Chris said,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Jasmine Sullivan for winning a Grammy.
Come on, Jasmine. All right.
And thank y'all for watching us while the Grammys are on. If y'all are
Yeah.
multitasking, we appreciate that.
Appreciate
It's
it.
not
Hmm.
the Oscars.
Mm. He has left the building.
No, he didn't
So
leave the building. Oh, I'm sorry.
he,
I'm
he did
sorry.
not. He did not leave the building.
Mm-mm. So
Neither
did.
one of them left the building. One was asked to leave the building and they said no.
But
But anyway,
people do that in relationships too, in situationships. You just
leave the building.
okay, go ahead. Or you get
Mm.
slapped and then we act like ain't nothing just happened.
Ooh.
Mm.
Or leave the building.
Or we leave. That's when you get ghosted. But
That's when you get ghosted.
There's the
Come
ghosted.
on, segue from
There's the
hosted to
ghosted.
ghosted.
Mm.
So are we hosting within these hookups, within these hangups, within these situationships?
Define hosted. Cause
Define
he,
hosting.
cause
Okay.
he knew
You
and I
know,
did.
and this is interesting because Merrick just said something too that I want to tap on that probably goes with this or whatever. So with in the apps, some of y'all may not know because y'all ain't been on them apps and stuff. I used to be on the apps, especially when I was depressed. That was the go-to, right? So you're on these apps and sometimes on the profiles, and it may have changed now because I haven't been on them in several years. But it used to be whose house are we coming to? We want to hook up. So am I coming to you or are you coming to where I am? The person is saying, oh, I'm hosting. You can come to me. You can come to where I am. That's the host. So that's how you know who's hosting or whatever. So we're gonna hook up at my crib. But then you get those people say, "Oh, I can't host." Some people put it right on their profile, "Can't host." Why? I got I live with my mama. I got a girlfriend, boyfriend, couple,
So that
whatever.
must that's so I've never heard of that. That must be a guy thing.
It may be.
Like
It
the
may
whole
be.
I can like the legit term, the legit phrase I can host. That must
Yeah,
be like
maybe.
a guy term. I've never heard that before, just in general.
Maybe.
Oh,
Because see, I've never been on an app. I've never been on an app where I've never been on an app to meet women. Usually I just meet those in person. You know what I mean? Because I'm look at me. You
Is
know what I mean? I
that
just meet them.
accurate?
yeah. Look at
You
them.
know. You
Caramel
know.
deliciousness. You
So
better look at
yeah.
them, y'all.
Woo,
Do you see them?
woo.
Do you
I just
see
meet them in person. They just come
them?
up to me in person. Be like, "Hey, you
Mm,
want to smash?" And
mm.
then I'd be
Cause
like,
her badge got swag.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we're not gonna do that.
So I ain't never needed an app for that. Because that's a little bit more. You can be public with that.
Right.
So I don't know. It may be just a guy's gay app type thing. I don't know, or DL type. Because it's a little bit more secret. You can do it on your little phone. I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
When I was on ChristianMingle.com, I never saw that. So I.
Because you ain't going to nobody's house. That's right.
Yes, he was. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Them good saints. Them good saints now.
It was called fellowship in that
Oh,
time. It was more
okay.
so like
When them saints go marching in.
Oh,
When them
right.
saints
Mm.
go marching in. Merrick said ain't none changed on the apps, I believe.
yeah.
So
Okay, so it's the same.
He's
So,
saying
but that
unchanged.
makes sense because
And that's
yeah,
and that's what can't host mean.
is that they trash? It's garbage. It's BS to start with.
something else is going on why they can't host. Why can't you host? You know, and
So
it's
from
usually not just because you don't want people at your house.
hosted to ghosted. So ghosting. That's a terminology. Oh, I have another definition. I know Angel got a definition, but I got mine too. I think I do.
Mm.
Ghosting. The practice of suddenly ending all contact with a person without explanation, especially in a romantic relationship and sometimes in friendships or whatever connection.
Mm-hmm.
But so ghosting is just like poof, be gone. Casper. And for whatever reason that whatever it is, maybe you're tired of the situationship, or maybe you're tired of the hookup, or maybe you're hung up and caught up and not certain with what you want to do. So the best thing you can do is go, and
Yeah,
that's what ghosting is.
prior to recent terms, ghosting was typically used in relation to dealing with a narcissist, because that is one of their tactics, or person with narcissistic personality disorder. That's one of their tactics, for controlling the situation. They disappear frequently,
Mm-hmm.
unannounced, no reason, leaving you on the edge of your seat, wondering what happened. Did you do something wrong? Was it my fault? And then they come back,
So
no explanation.
but if they come back, then though, is it considered ghosting or is it just considered they just left?
Well, that w-
Yeah.
that was when the terminology was most used, because they
Okay.
would disappear for periods of time without any notice. It could be a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, and then they just reemerge as if nothing happened, with no explanation.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
interesting, and that's interesting that terminology has transitioned over into you know um, I guess regular relationships, or connectivity, without the mental health standpoint. But that's not necessarily a mental health terminology anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Nope, not necessarily. Now we're using it for situationships, or people are using it when they deem necessary to cut you off for whatever reason. Are you toxic, or are they toxic? Is it unhealthy, or do you just want something different? Are we
So then,
ghosting people, or are they ghosting you?
right. So then it makes me ask the question too, though. Then, so for a hookup, can you really ghost somebody on a hookup if it's not deemed as a relationship? We just hooked up one night and then I didn't talk to you anymore. I guess that wouldn't necessarily be considered ghosting. But if you're
That's a
in
good
an
question.
actual situation, if you're in an actual situation with somebody and you've been with them for a decent amount of time, because like Merrick made the statement, He said, I have been in some situationships longer than actual
Facts.
loving relationship.
Facts is what I heard. I wasn't
Yeah,
saying for
fact.
myself. I wasn't saying for myself, but I
You
was
just
just agreeing with Merrick.
right, right. So it's like, if it's a hookup, can it be considered ghosting if you didn't hear from them the next day? That's like what they used to call one night stands, right? This was a one night stand. We did it. That person is gone. But a situationship, it does make a little bit more sense because it's like there's some type of uh, bond, whether it was a commitment or not. There's some type of bonding that we did. We just didn't add any type of title or some type of loyalty or commitment that we were doing. And then you all of a sudden disappeared and I ain't heard nothing from you, which, by the way, I do think is a bit, I mean, is a cop out move. Um,
Definitely.
it's a cop out move because it's like you don't want to actually say whatever it is that you want to say, which again could be for a good reason. Sometimes you don't want to hurt people's feelings. So some people think the best thing to do is just disappear and don't say nothing at all, not realizing that hurts people's feelings too.
Right.
You don't give the person the respect to actually come and say, you know what, this just don't work between us. Or
That's actually more devaluing to me than whatever it is that's driving you away. If you
mm,
just ghost or and just go away,
and say nothing.
I think that devalues the other person even more.
Yeah, and it's
Hmm.
definitely traumatic because people by nature want closure. They want to know what happened. Instead of somebody disappearing, whether you got to call or do it in person or send a message and say, "Hey, this is the situation, um, and I can no longer be a part of whatever this is." But I think it deserves a conversation face to face. If you were intimate with somebody, and maybe that's my fault because I'm confusing intimacy with sex. But if you have shared your body with somebody in a space that is intimate, then I think that person deserves a conversation face to face about what it is that you need or can no longer handle. I think that's simple. And if you gotta have it needs to be a conversation, and I think it
Hmm.
needs to be in person. If it was a hookup, by nature, it was just for sex and there's no expectation of relationship afterwards. So maybe people think it's okay to ghost in that situation. But again, in my mind, if you sharing your body, we're not getting into the spiritual aspects of sharing your body. If you're sharing your body with somebody, they deserve um, a conversation.
Yo, I'm here for the comments. I'm just here
Right,
for the comments.
right. Yeah.
Oh man, I had to zoom in on
Oh my
that one.
goodness.
That was
Mm-mm.
good. That was good. That was good. And I think that's the thing because I think now you're expecting people to value sex or intimacy or doing the thing or whatever you want to call it, nowadays. But I think because it's not valued maybe as much, I think people don't feel like they need to, or I don't owe you nothing because we're not
And, s-
Mm,
together.
and
I
see,
don't owe
that's
you
the
nothing.
that's the part
yeah.
where I think, and people look at me like I'm crazy because I'm like, even if you don't value and this is what I feel like we need to get back to. So y'all know I get on that soapbox is, even if you don't feel like you value this relationship or value whatever, what happened to just valuing the person as another human being?
Mm-mm.
It's like to recognize, one, you don't want nobody doing that to you, right? So even though you may not value the relationship to the degree that you should, but what about just getting to a place where I value this other person as a human being? See, we don't care nothing about being the cause of certain people's confusion, mental illnesses, craziness, and all that. We won't even take the responsibility for it. Yet, research is showing us all of this, whatever, a lot of mental illnesses that people are facing, the majority of them, and I noticed this and was pointing this out when I was in school for this stuff, is because of relational breaches somewhere. Somewhere
Mm.
somebody dropped the ball relationally. It may not be a significant other. It could be family. It could be friends. It could be whatever. The way we're wired, we affect each other in that kind of way. So to not even value another person and saying, yeah, we did some stuff. We hooked up last night. We probably shouldn't have did that, whatever. But I at least, even if the twat wasn't good or the peen wasn't, keen, then it's like I should still be able to have a.
That was good. That's it. I'm here. Y'all
Oh,
done
I
took
should
Angel out. Y'all done
You're
took
gonna make me
Angel out.
smack this house.
just just
The
decency,
Situation. Oh my
decency,
God.
just decency. Because see, we live in a world now where everybody can do whatever they want to do, right? Everybody, people will have an argument for ghosting. People will have an argument for staying. People will have an argument for leaving somebody. People have an argument for slapping somebody. People have an argument for the words spoken. People have arguments for whatever. But can we just go to some place of becoming decent people?
Mm.
Decent,
How do
decent.
we get there? How do we get there? How do we get there?
Dropping some of this ego and dropping some of the mentality that I don't give a f or that I don't care what people think about me.
We
I
need a
think
whole
that
mind reset.
scares. Listen, when I hear people say I don't care what people think, those are the people I'm scared of. I'm not
Mhm.
saying you have to live your life in a way where you're living by people's rules, but you should care what people think. We should care what people think about us. Now, again, I've made the statement before and said, hey, listen, if I'm an oak tree, I can't be anything else other than an oak tree. So if you have a problem with oak trees, I can't do nothing for you. I care. It hurts me that you don't accept all of this goodness. However, so I can't live my life according to your like or dislike. However, it does bother me because I'm connected to the human race. I'm connected to humans, and that's not the way we were designed. All this incompatibility, all of this, we weren't, y'all. Some of this stuff is bullshit. I'm just to be honest with you. Like a lot of this is just BS, and it's because we've traded the purpose of human relationships for our dreams, our goals, our desires, and our drama. Now, those things have become our purpose, and relationships only become a means to that end, instead of those things being a means to relationship as the purpose for which we all are connected and together. We act like we're separate, and we're really not.
So we're placed on earth to not be alone. Nobody is
Yet
placed
we
on
want to
earth
be
to be
alone.
alone, I should say. Yeah, we want to be alone.
Yeah, or yet we're trying to act like we're alone, and alone in the sense of not that there's not a lot of people around, but we're kings of our own city. Because that word really just meant chief, nobody to be accountable to.
And I think
You're
that comes
left
from
to
our
yourself.
trauma.
It comes
I
from
think that
trauma,
really
yeah,
comes from
and
our
training.
trauma because if we were created to be one with somebody else, then where do we get the idea of climbing this mountain and can't nobody else go with you?
So what if you really can't find your one? What if you don't? What if you are doing,
Then then I
what
feel
you?
like there's 8 billion other people on the planet. The
No,
one.
I'm saying, what if you? Oh, so if I don't find my one, because that's what
Hmm.
we're created to do. That's what we're
Hmm.
designed for. Whatever. What if I don't find my one? Yes, you
I
drink
personally,
drink that water.
I drank that then. As you saw it come down here, it came down here like it was Moist Mouth Monday. Like it just dripped right, just kind of like when
I
you
was
just be
taking
in,
a sip.
like.
I was taking a sip. Okay, I needed to go this way and not that way.
Oh,
I think I don't necessarily believe in the one, but I know what you're talking about. I know what you're saying. It's like
so this is in
to find
reference
that person.
to what Angel said. So now I want my relationality specialist and my relationship coach. The I want you guys to give the understanding of, because she said you find your one, you said you
I
don't find your
said
one. Me, I'm just over here
somebody.
slipping on my teeth.
I said one with somebody. I gave up on finding the one some years ago. And for me, it's the one that's willing to put in the work. It ain't
There
just
you go.
one. It's the one that's
It's
willing to put in the work. It's the
it's the
one that's
one.
willing to step up and be mature. It's the one that has the intentions that align with yours. That's the one.
So what if you get 50% from one and 50% from the other, and that makes one?
The one that chooses you back. Then you enter into a polyamorous relationship, and then you just call it a day. No, I'm just. I mean, but that is how it. I think that is how they develop because people say
Whew.
you can't get everything from one person, right? This is some of the philosophy behind that. You can't get everything from one individual. Well, then that poses the question of why do we live thinking we're supposed to get everything we
That
want?
goes back to hangups
So, but
Yes,
then
in the
in
in
your
in that
list.
moment.
are you living unfulfilled then?
In your list.
you're living. Here's the thing: you'll be living unfulfilled to a degree, but you're also going to be living as one who unfulfills.
Mm,
You ain't able to give everybody everything.
show like
That's your
So
line. I'm is
the
not.
idea, this
Let me
is
look at the
why we
camera. I'm
have,
is not. I'm a.
yeah, it's like, but this is why we have multiple layers or multiple types of relationships. One,
Mm,
we really have to, again, and people don't want to do this, honestly, and I get it. I get that I speak from another world sometimes when I'm saying certain things, but I've also looking at all the pain in this one. So what we don't want to say is, if Bryson, if me and you are together, do you know that I'm going to question my relationship with you before I question my own desires, as if my desires are Lord and pure all the time?
mm,
hmm,
So I question you and say maybe she ain't the one, instead of maybe I need to change.
hmm.
Maybe I need to recognize that this desire to have everything could be the very reason I'm not happy. The very idea of the pursuit of happiness implies that you obviously ain't happy. You wouldn't have to pursue it if you had it. So because we keep, and we live in a consumer society, the grass is greener on this side, so then we want the greener grass. I live in Vegas. We ain't got no grass.
Yeah,
People
I know
love
you
to.
got that grass. You got the little bit of grass on your background. That's
Yeah, we got.
grass.
Yeah,
You
that's
got that
ivy.
grass.
and it's fake,
Hmm.
ain't it?
It's fake
And
as
it's
ever.
fake,
Fake as ever.
fake as ever.
Fake as ever. It look good, but it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. But I'm saying that, and again, I'm a desire person. Don't
Like
get me
these
wrong. So it's like
relationships.
I'm a desire person. I am a desire. I am driven by. I like something. I want it. I'm that guy. But I also have taken time for introspection to recognize that some of my desires can ruin me. Some of my desires can be the reason why I go day to day without love.
Mm,
I'm not talking about the core essence of who you are. I'm talking about these thoughts that come to we think every thought that come to our mind is us. The thoughts that come to your mind and sometimes the desires that come to your mind is the programming we're in. We're in a program to everything's competing for our attention, competing for the essence of who we are, and we just drive right into it. Here's the thing. We'll say somebody don't wear something no more. Oh, we don't wear that no more. Why? Not because you don't like it no more, but because it's out of style now. So a lot
right.
of our desires are informed by culture. It's informed by media. It's informed by something other than ourselves or whatever. So it's like I technically like that blue shirt because I like blue, but I can't wear it now. So it's the same thing to a certain degree, even with our desires. You recognize some things are fed to you to become a desire, right? I've heard people say, I'm just having this conversation with Bo, with my guy the other day, and we're talking about how everybody wants the chiseled body and this, or that's what they lust after. But then some people have, and you're talking a real relationship with them, they've like, actually, that never panned out for me. Every guy I had that was cut or that was whatever, it ended up being whatever, and that ain't necessarily who I want to marry. But that's also what we have on media as that's what looks good.
Right.
That's
The
what's
influence,
sexy.
the guidance.
Yes. And I think if we
Hmm.
knew how much of what we wanted was really influenced outside of ourselves, but we don't do the introspection to really recognize that.
I love that the conversation just went there because you're talking to a woman who just brought two brand spanking new pair of K Swiss sneakers.
Now I like K Swiss.
K Swiss.
The classics was my joint.
I
I ain't gonna
got
lie.
some
Classics was my
I
joints.
got some classics, and I got another pair with the shield on the side. And I swear I was looking for t-shirts to go with it. Don't care. It's something I like. But you just spoke to what people like, and is it a trend? What are these trends? Even these dating apps, are a trend. Um, and right now, who's making the most profit? United States. United States got the highest profit level of revenue. I believe last I checked, it was like 1.4 million billion,
For
excuse me,
for
1.4 billion that they're making in revenue from online dating sites.
from online dating sites.
US was the top.
Billion.
1.4 billion.
1.43 billion.
Yeah.
This is
And
the
I'm sure
revenue that's coming in from these online dating sites. What's the trend? Top was Tinder. Tinder was number one.
because look at how they work. And again, this is not shooting the people down that made it. Genius, you making a bunch of money. I'm not,
Mhm.
but look at you get to just swipe. Nope, Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
You know,
somebody
one
is
you actually
profiting off of
somebody's
your
profiting off of
desire.
Jay just said this like this was and I think this was just powerful. Jay said most people don't actually even know what they want. They function within the realm of unsustainable impulse.
Y'all sound alike.
See, well, that's my brother.
Aha.
That's my brother
Unsustainable
right there. That's my
Exactly.
brother.
What
He
gave it
taught me
Exactly.
away?
he taught me
Unsustainable.
everything I know. You know what I mean? You
What
know.
gave it away?
It's in the
Oh
But
my
that's
blood.
goodness.
but that is powerful because and I consider him to be the king of introspection because he say stuff that just be like, dude, how you come up with that? Sitting with myself. See, most people they sit with themselves and they come up with all of these glamorous things that they want, right? Or that they think they want. Yeah, but I hear very few people that actually sit with themselves and come out saying, you know what, I was wrong. Or I was being ignorant. You know, I don't even want to say right or wrong, but it's like I was being ignorant or I was ignoring what really matters.
Mhm.
So that to me, that's not necessarily true introspection. That's just you trying to see how you fit into the society to get the status quo, the gains, and all of the stuff that you particularly want. But it's like that with our relationships. So now because it's so accessible, you can just swipe and before we had Facebook and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying relationships, people didn't run through relationships or get in situationships or didn't have
It's
these
just so
hookups and
much
all that.
more visible now.
Yeah, and it's more
Yeah.
consumerized.
Yeah.
So like
Hmm.
relationship stuff now is more of a market.
Hmm.
It's more of a market than it is a real true, covenant or where you and
Oh,
we
Jocelyn.
huh?
Jocelyn, thank you just for dropping in. I didn't know you was on here.
Hey,
But
Girl,
Jocelyn, I just want you I want to
appreciate
thank you for dropping in with these hashtags like that. I am about to lay on this floor.
And she been paying attention because she went all the way back to bag with the swag. Oh my goodness.
oh
Too
Lord,
much.
you
It's
people,
too much. It's too
look at
much.
them hashtags though.
Look at it.
Dude,
Whew.
thank you. Can you
Appreciate
send
it.
me a friend request on somewhere?
We appreciate it.
Oh
Thank
gosh.
you. We appreciate it.
Oh,
You did that. You did that. And
but
you
no,
just broke
Oh my goodness.
you just broke it up. That was good. That was good.
she
Cause
really did.
cause I'd be
But it's
like, I like to see
it's
y'all battle.
it's really interesting though, y'all. Like seriously, like it's really, and like I said, I know that. And I was talking to somebody earlier this week. A lot of what I have to offer when it comes to relationships and stuff, I know people don't want that. I know that I'm speaking to a specific group of people who are ready to have enlightened relationships,
Always.
to who are ready to move this from all of this painful stuff that we're in because we're insane with it. We're insane. And earlier this week, I was saying we make these relationships and stuff harder than they really need to be, but it's also because we've traded the purpose of them, and we've commercialized them, unfortunately. So
True.
everything is commercial, from the committed relationships to the situationships.
Hmm.
Even our hookups are sort of commercial now at this point, it
Hmm.
seems like. So
And that's why I think these conversations are so important. Because we're weird. Okay, so y'all might not hear this on a regular basis. So this is your monthly dose of some enlightenment that you're not gonna get from nowhere else. You
Hmm.
talk about your brother sitting with himself and reflecting. That's what we need to be doing about our list and about our hangups and about our choices and about our desires, so we can come out on the other side and say, you know what, I ain't on top. I'm not in the
ooh.
right. Oh, see, that's different. I ain't on top, and I'm not on the right side of things. And then my mind has been twisted for a while, and I've been treating people like trash when I'm really the trash. Okay, I need
Then
to take
that's a
need to
whole
take myself
nother.
out,
Oh, you
take
want people
myself
to be
out of here,
self-aware. Oh,
take
you want people.
myself out of here.
That's a
Yes,
whole
people need to
nother.
be self-aware. Folks out here looking for, what was the word? Fulfillment. You out here looking for fulfillment. That starts with you. You don't get that from other people. Now they are a contributor to you feeling whole and healthy and all of that, because we get energy and love and all this other stuff from each other. But you got to start with your own healing and your own fixing it and all of that. You don't go looking to relationships for fulfillment. You don't go looking to hookups and situationships for fulfillment. And the problem is, we so broken and traumatized and mentally unstable and emotionally disconnected that any sort of attention that looks like it might feel good, we will take that in place of real healing.
Well, see, you just said something too with we're so traumatized, this and that, and people won't recognize that that's how we all are. We
That part.
listen, we are in a system, and I hate to sound new ages, but we're in a system and somewhat of a programming where we're all traumatized by something, or
Sure, sure.
we're all relating in ways that's based on something that may not be the truth. Like it's facts that certain things have happened, but it may not be the truth of how we were designed to relate. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, so we all come from something that has informed how we relate to one another. What causes us to jump to hookups? What causes us to be committed? What causes us to, to want, we're coming from somewhere. And what I think is we don't give one another the grace to say, I'm not here to like, oh, somebody said something earlier about, when we talk about dreams and this is that and the other, or Bryson said, when one person gives you this, but then somebody else is giving you whatever. We're all somewhere, but we won't even stick with each other long enough to help each other get to the next somewhere. I may not have 100,000 today, but that don't mean, so then you go pick the one that has 100,000 today. That don't mean that I may not surpass that 100,000 in 2 years, but I needed a relational partner to help me be my higher self to one day. Because listen, let me tell you something about the amount of dreams that I done had that I'm gonna be that I would be filthy rich. And I know everybody had those dreams. I'm broke as a joke right now, but but one day, I'm a philanthropist in my heart. So if we base some things off of where a person is right now, I ain't saying marry potential either, but I'm saying if we base things off of, we have to change the value. That's pretty much what it is. Our values now is our list, whatever this is on our list, instead of
Uh-oh,
looking
this
at what it
list.
is on that list, that what is it that we actually get from that list, so that we can really sit through. And I was going to do a relationship workshop in April, just about building your relationship, but building a relationship vision. But in order to do that, you have to go through your different values. And sometimes when you're looking at those values, you recognize, what, this value is actually anti-relationship.
Hmm.
Some of the things we're asking for is really anti-relationship. You're asking somebody to show up and be everything you want, to be perfect in a sense, meaning without error instead of just mature. And you don't have that. You don't even have that. We don't give each other the grace that there's room, in a sense, to be able to grow. So for some people, that's why we settle for just the hookup. I don't want nothing else. I'm too busy with my career right now.
Hmm.
And then what happened was we slept together. I kind of liked them, and then we
Hmm.
slept together again, and then we did it again, and then we did it again, and now it's a
And now it's a
situationship.
Now
situation.
we together.
And then somebody
Um,
changed their mind, so I was hosting, and now they decided to ghost on me.
Ooh. Ooh.
thank you guys for tuning in. We have made it close to the first hour, very close to the first hours of hookups, hangups, and situationships from hosted to ghosted. With the incomparable and illustrious genius brainiologist LeAnzar Stockley and Angel Simmons. Thank you
That's an
guys for
angel.
tuning in. Everybody who said something, you guys are speaking. You guys are speaking. I'm just here really to moderate. I'm just kind of here just to kind of throw in my little 2 cents in the jump the cable every now and again. But I
I like
wanna
this
I
question.
want I wanna
I like this question.
yeah, I do too. I like this question. I got. I want to read
And
that,
Gerard.
and I want to
Mm-hmm.
read Gerard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Gerard. I want to read that, but I also want to bring something to you guys' attention too. First, people were created to love. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. People were created to be loved. Things were created to be used. The reason why the world is in chaos is because things are being loved and people are being used.
For sure. The answer has left the chat. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Baby, that's so powerful. And,
And
and and and I think that it goes over our head because again, it seems like the cultural values have changed.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's so true. And that's why I said earlier, when I said what we do is we have our dreams and our goals, our aspirations and our dramas and our desires. We've made that our purpose. So now
Mhm.
your relationships are just accessories, or they're a means to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
And
because we made people tools.
we've made people tools, and we've made people, they're disposable.
You made them tools. That's why you call them hoes
Or stepping stools.
or
You
stepping
know,
stool.
yeah, it's like we've made them that. So it's so much easier to hook up. It's so much easier to end up in some of these situations. Because again, and again, I get it, I get it, I get it. Shut up, LeAnzar. You know, but until we make these shifts to what the real value is, this is only gonna continue to be in this direction. And people are gonna keep they're gonna keep having to wipe tears away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
in the name of love.
Jocelyn, thank you for these continued hashtags. I want to go to Merrick's question real quick. Um, a question just came to his mind. He said, "Is having a life partner or companion the same as being in a situationship?"
And see, I
Between the
would
twin.
think that a life partner or a companion would imply that it's a committed relationship. So
You,
in that situation, it's a relationship. Although some people would question if you're doing all that, why you didn't get married.
Hmm.
is getting married still a thing?
That and that would be the question: is marriage the end goal, or have we determined to settle for a life partner and companion?
Well, I will say I'll put myself up. I have no desires, or I would say no desire. I don't have to ever be legally married again. Me personally. Now I'm gonna perform folks' weddings and because I do think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I do think that it's an alignment. I do believe that. My deeper thought comes from, are we merged? Because the word marriage just means merger, right? So are we merged in spirit? Have we made this? Are we gonna be together forever? Because I'm also not trying to be with a whole bunch of folks. So when I say that, doesn't mean I will never get married again. It's just saying I don't necessarily have to have the papers to say it. And that's for me personally. Whatever. I don't necessarily have to have the papers to say it. Now, who I'm with, I want to be with forever. I don't want to be, whatever. But I think there's a lot of people that are turning away from traditional marriage, but their reasons from turning away from it seems to be more so that they don't feel tied down versus
Some folks
how I'm
can't be
saying of
tied down.
just not needing the paper to say, I don't need a piece of paper to say that I'm going to be faithful to you. I'm going to take up your best interest is going to be at heart. We're to live in a way that gives you room to thrive. Instead of, I don't necessarily need the papers to tell me that. I bind myself to that because I make the statement of saying I am love for you. So I don't necessarily need a ceremony for it. If we want to have a ceremony, great, but I don't necessarily particularly need it. I do think that a life partner or a companion, I don't necessarily. I think today the way we do it today, it is a situation for some people because some people aren't happy in their committed relationships. They're still in they're in the relationship, been in it for 10 years, but they're still looking
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
for some
And
hold this
that's
mentality, still hold this idea that, well, as long as we don't get married, I can easily walk away from this. I had a friend say to me he doesn't believe in marriage because people go into it knowing they can get out.
mm. And that's what I meant when I said some people can't be tied down. Mainly because they tied to so many other people. It's too many. It's too many people that you're tied to. And if you don't value commitment or loyalty or faithfulness, it don't matter if you're married or not. I know folks that's married and still living though they were single. Their partner don't know it,
But
or their
you can't
partner,
love more than one person.
not effectively.
So just in intimate relationships, not in regular friendships.
It's
See,
a
I
different
think
type of love.
they say it's a different that, and see,
It's
and
a different type of love.
I'm more so. I believe you can fall in love with multiple people. I believe you can, and I'm saying fall in love because of what fall in love is. I believe that it exists. I believe that it can happen, but I think that somewhere we have to know ourselves, and we have to know who we're with. Is me being in love with multiple people and other people? Is there's not somebody that I'm really truly helping to thrive? Because I can't affect, like she said, I can't effectively say that I'm in love with you, Bri, if I know that being with you is also going to cause pain to if I'm with Angel. So somewhere I'm gonna have to
Lord, he done put us in the threesome. Lord,
somewhere we're a throuple.
Lord,
This is
Somewhere
an
I'm gonna have
entanglement. This is an entanglement.
Lord.
somewhere I'm going to have to decide. But again, the reason that I'm going to be in love with three people and then engage all three people is because we feel like we're supposed to have everything we want.
That goes back to your desires.
Everything we want. But I get it. I do because I do believe there are people that I love, and I come more so from when I say I love you, I'm talking about agape. Me. That's the position I'm putting myself in. And then yes, there are those that you have more of a romantic lean towards or a non-romantic lean to, or I'm leaning towards you towards as life partner versus just I just think you're the best thing since sliced bread and I want to juice all your bones, whatever. But at some point you because that's almost like saying you can't see multiple people that look good. Can four people look good? Yeah, absolutely. But because of self-control, I don't engage all four people. That's for people that are monogamous. Now, people that are polyamorous and feel like they should be able to date as many as they want to that are in consent. So it's like I guess we can't necessarily judge that or whatever if they're actually genuinely trying to love these people.
And either
But
somebody on the other side of that, either somebody is upset because they're not getting what they need, or somebody is relieved because you over there today and not with me.
which is human tendency. That's how we tend. If we start approaching this stuff again, I think it was Nikola Tesla or either Einstein, one of them people that was smart. They said if you want to understand life and understand things, and I'm paraphrasing it, think of it in terms of energy.
Mm.
When we think of some of this stuff in terms of energy, it's a lot of things that we will be like, I can do that, but I'm not going to do that. Because wisdom is saying A plus B equals C, or that potential is there. So it's some stuff that I think when we think about it from a standpoint of, okay, all things is lawful for me to do, but is it expedient for me to do it? Is this really going to pan out the way I'm thinking this is going to pan out? And we got to get to the point where we can't just keep using the code, where people just got to get over it. Because that's what we've done for years upon years since humanity has started. Just felt like people need to get over it. And look at how many people have anxiety, depression, all these mental illnesses and all this whatever. Obviously, that didn't work.
We've talked about taking the mask off and being okay with being your 100% authentic self with your partner. Most people don't know the person that they're with. They fall in love with the representative.
Mm.
Most people don't know themselves.
That come on, that right there. That right there. Oh, she done switched the water. Uh-oh. That right there. Because if you don't understand yourself, you
We know our
surely
person,
don't understand your desires.
and or somebody or anybody else. We understand our personalities.
Mm-hmm.
We may understand what we like, but we haven't placed our desire. We haven't placed that in relation to other beings. The moment you say in relation to, now you're speaking about human nature. The desires that we have is not necessary. Having desire is human nature, but the desires that we have may not necessarily be beneficial for human nature. Does that make sense? So we may know the desire and we may know our personalities, which is just the mask that we wear, but we haven't taken those things and placed them in relation to the whole, to
Jocelyn,
everybody else, to the partner.
Jocelyn, that's it. We about to be best friends. You all
Nope,
right with
you
me?
can't have her. Can't have her.
You're all right with me taking so some people don't even know that they're sending a representative because they
They
have
don't.
this thing so wrapped up so hard in their head and what they want to present, they're creating a facade for themselves. They're in their own bubble. But
Mm-hmm.
then after, I call them dress rehearsals. After the dress rehearsals are
Oh.
over,
Hmm.
and the true curtain opens, well, I ain't, I will, what, but no, but you said though, like when we started talking a couple months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, I was just trying to, people, and people don't know, people don't even realize. I think that's an excellent, excellent statement because I've seen that tons.
You know
Um,
when we realized it. You know when we realized it that we were sending a representative. A lot of people on their deathbed,
Oof.
they start
Okay.
recognizing
Oh my
I
gosh.
showed up in this life as really something other than myself. When we start seeing the light, see, I've never looked at it as you just see the light as you finna go. You're seeing where you going, heaven or hell. You're seeing the light. Your eyes are opening to actually see
Mm.
what really mattered and seeing who you really are. To me, that's hell. When you
Mm.
recognize, whoa, all this time I've been being the program instead of really being who I was designed to be, which is just like my creator, love. We don't
Mm.
know we sending representatives. Perfect question for Gerard sent. And then who else commented on that? What's the name? Like I think that that's
Jocelyn.
we because all of us are still works in progress. I'm still trying to unfold who all of this LeAnzar is. What does this mean when I say I am loved? What parts of me show up as representative because I'm afraid that you're going to leave me? What parts of me show up as just a representative because I'm in fear, not in love?
I'm in fear, not in love. Woo!
Mm.
Yeah.
Woo! That one did something. That one did something. Merrick says, do we need to be married? As long as I have my ducks in a row, i.e., will, trust, things are handled accordingly when I leave here. So is it necessary?
My answer is going to be, if you're talking about legally married, and I know all the church people finna hate me for saying this, my answer is no. Because again, to me, marriage happens at the merge and bond that you make with this person. That's me though. Like I wouldn't. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's LeAnzar. So
Mhm.
it's like I feel like, hey, if you with this person, y'all have a great relationship, and your relationship is in and on purpose, then I don't think that you. What do you mean need to? Like, are you gonna go to hell if you don't? Like,
I get
I ain't.
society based.
mm, well,
I can only speak for myself, and
I can't too. That's what I'm saying. Like that one is.
all all my life, that has
I
You
had
been
to
had to
fight.
fight.
Oh,
but that has been the end goal. And whether it came from being raised in church, being raised in a Christian house, being raised by a black mama, however you want to put it, that's the end goal. It's still on my list of things to do. That's still my end goal. At the same time, within the same family, same Christian family, same black mama, same community, it's plenty of people and within my family and close to it that didn't do that. Um, and been with the same person for 20 some years, 30 some years, and then I see the repercussions of what happens when they die
Mm,
and they can't make decisions in their hospital room,
mm.
because they didn't have certain paperwork together.
it
um,
has
i've
its benefit.
seen
Yeah.
i've seen that happen enough times for it to still be my end goal.
Mm-hmm.
We need some legal papers that need to say
Mm-hmm.
that I can make decisions if something happened, or he can make decisions if something happened to me. So I can only
And
speak
I
for me,
totally,
and
I
that's still
totally
on my
believe that.
list of things that need to happen for myself. Is it for everybody? No,
I
because
totally believe that.
if you'd have asked me at 12, I'd have told you I wanted to be Sandra. Dun, dun.
Oh, come on now.
This
Too
girl
Come
simple.
on.
was never gonna get married. And at some point that shifted. So
And
everybody
that's why
sees
it's like
their
I
story.
I really I do believe in like having your stuff aligned. So if that means marriage, so that this person can actually have or power of attorneys or whatever you got to whatever I don't know the real terminology. I believe in that. I definitely believe in that, and I think I speak more so from sinner, not sin, in terms of getting married. Like it's like
Well,
no,
we were
are you
raised that way.
are we together? And then I asked the question though too. It's like even with you, like women, you're raised to get married. What does
Absolutely.
marriage represent? That's what I think
You
we need
not
to
being a
have.
whore.
Oh,
That's what it represents.
that ain't where
You
I was
not
going,
being a
but
whore. You not going to hell. You not shaming your mama when she go to church because her daughter never did it the right way. That's
right.
what
And
it
see,
represents.
and in that sense, I'm like, no.
A lack
But
of
in the
embarrassment
but in the sense of
for your family.
having that partner, that answer to not being alone, then I say, yes, that needs to be the attitude of our heart. I'm not married legally right now, but in my heart, my partner is my spouse. That's how I live. That's the commitment that I've made. And to me, it ain't just easy to just be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna walk away tomorrow because something better came along. Or I'm still trying to figure this out. I realize this ain't the right one, or this ain't the whatever. And that's also not saying people can't get a divorce. I'm just saying I when I say that I'm with somebody, I mean I'm with you. That's just kind of how I do it, or whatever. And even in those, they can still be situations for people, you
Hmm.
know. And I think that we should also decipher between having situations arise in a relationship that are rocky does not mean your relationship is not a real relationship. It doesn't necessarily make it a relation a situationship. There are sometimes in our committed relationships where we're confused on what's going on. But that's why I say you need a relational vision so that you can always go back to, are we on track to what we said that
As a
we want
couple, you need a
as a couple?
relational vision. Do you need
Yes.
a relational vision? Can
As
you
an
have a
individual?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yep. And I think that your relational vision and your personal vision for life, they should they should be somewhat
They should
married.
coincide.
Yeah. When I do some of the things that I do with some of the couples that I've worked with, I'll have the individuals do a vision period, like a personal mission vision statement for their life, and then they do one as a couple. And it's like, and they're powerful if we use it. It sounds very clinical and sounds very who doing all that? We just want to be in love and just whatever. But the truth is, when you're ready to have real relationships with somebody, you have your vision to come back to, and it's a working vision, meaning it can change because we all grow. So you may want to add something to it. It's a live document. So we may have to come back and renegotiate something. And I don't even want to say negotiate, but change some things around just because things have changed. But we have that vision to say, this is the purpose of our relationship. So when we run into our issues and run into our problems, we always can go back to our mission. We can go back to our purpose. We can go back to our, that statement that we've made so that we're on track. Because all of us just we can end up all over the place.
Very interesting. I find all of this to be extremely, extremely interesting. And what do you do for those people who thought that they have journeyed down this path, but they've been married, they're on their second marriage, they're on their third marriage.
Mm. Some people choose that as a life. Some people choose that as the way that they want it. Again, and these people, we later find out some of them may say that they realize that they were poly people instead of
Mhm.
monogamous. Um,
But that whole thing, I feel like poly, monogamous, and all of these relational terminologies, I feel like even though for people like us who kind of study this stuff, they're present, but they are not present in regular society,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
in the black culture. They're not present in society. So that terminology, like, are they really? Is that really a habit for them, or
I
is
guess
that really
it's
what their
called
goal is?
open
Because
relationship.
Some of them, I feel like it's their default. So,
marriage.
no, being in, well, I'll just say that I'm a poly person because I couldn't master myself. I
Mm.
Mm.
could, and again, poly people. I'm not saying this is you exactly. But I think some people default to it and say, I I couldn't figure out
They put
how to just
themselves
be
in a
with one
safe
person.
zone.
Yes.
Hmm.
I
Or
couldn't
I
figure out
couldn't
how to
control
master
my
myself.
desires.
That's what I mean. I couldn't master myself. I couldn't figure out how to control my desires. I couldn't. So, oh, I must just be whatever. That's why I always say, y'all said earlier in the show, awareness, self-awareness is huge because you have to know that you're aligned with you.
Hmm.
And then in addition to that, once you figure that out, I'm sorry, self-awareness can be all what it want to be, but until you put yourself in accountability to somebody, you're still missing part of the game. And that don't mean get in a relationship with somebody where they're your significant other, but we have to be self-aware. So we have to have self-awareness, but we also have to have accountability. We were not. This is how we're made. This is how we're made to thrive. We need to put ourselves in accountability. If that's your friends, if that's your family, you know, we need that accountability, but we don't want that either.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because God forbid somebody say that how I am is wrong, and I just put myself in accountability to them. You're not gonna run my life
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
dictate my life. How you
Hmm.
gonna tell me, especially today? You can't tell nobody nothing. How you gonna tell me that what I'm doing ain't love? Love
Hmm.
means different things to different people.
And you're wrong. Because love has a specific definition, a couple of them. They don't
I
want
think
accountability because
listen.
they don't want the
I
challenge and they don't want to
eh,
be wronged and they don't want to have to change. Change
change.
So,
begins
Ooh,
with
so
love.
Angel
They
says
don't
that
want
love
to do
has
that.
one meaning. LeAnzar, you say that love means different things to different people. Angel, ladies
I don't
first.
agree with that, but
I
I
know.
but I. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I think
Uh,
people use that as a cop out. Um, you know, everything means something different to somebody. You know, versus getting in alignment with what love truly is, where we came from, how it's designed to work, and nurture us and help us to grow and mature and all of these things. No,
mm-hmm.
they make it into a hookup and a situationship and something else they want to call it. We'll call everything love except love because it forces you to change. It forces you to come to yourself
She mean this. She mean this.
and look in the mirror with the mirror and look in the mirror and say, "Girl, you have messed up, and you
Why is
need
her
to do
mirror so
something
close?
different."
Why is it right there?
Because I had to put my lips on before we got on here. I had to put on my lips. It was for my lips.
I
But
agree, Amy.
what people don't want to look at that reflection and see the trash that they have been presenting to other people, because then they got to do something about it, and
Mm.
that don't make me feel good. I only want things that make me feel good.
Oh, stimulation.
I
We only
only
want the
want things
stimulation.
that make me feel good about myself. I only want things that make me look good.
Your mirror said change. Put
That
that
Mirror,
up,
mirror on the
Jocelyn.
wall.
Put that up. Woo.
people only want things to make them feel good and look good so that we don't have to be responsible for doing something different. We don't have to
Hmm.
be responsible for changing our attitudes, for reflecting and changing our mentality and resetting our minds and then going back to make amends for all the crap we've done. We don't want to do that. So
Because we're
yeah, love
self-righteous.
means something different to everybody.
We're self-righteous in that regard.
And that's
You
what I'm
know,
gonna say. It's different for everybody.
it's
Hmm.
different for
Relationships are
everybody in that
different for
sense.
everybody. No, it's different for you because your trauma has made you a monster.
Or your drama has made you a monster.
Or
You know,
your
so it's
trauma.
and that's what and I say that in a sense I piggyback that whatever. It's like I think I do agree that love is different for people. That's why I say I don't believe that love has different meanings. I do believe that people have different meanings for love.
For love.
Yeah. So that's why I say to people, when people say they love you, you might want to ask which one,
Ooh,
or what do
ooh.
you mean by that? When you say you love me, what do you mean?
Or
Because
which me
here's the
do you
thing,
love?
or which me do you love? Like, because here the other thing is, and this is all a part of communication skills and whatever. It's like, our lives are meant, we're supposed to make meaning together. That's how we actually bond. We're making meaning together. That means that we're both saying the same thing when we say I love you, or at least we understand what's being said. So that way we don't have to have different ill expectations. I can't hold you accountable to loving me unconditionally if when you said to me you love me, you didn't mean unconditional love? You didn't mean agape. So I can't hold you to love me that way. I can only hold you to love him. If you meant eros, then like romantic love, then that's all I can hold you to.
Because that's
And guess
all that you
what?
stimulated by.
There's nothing to hold to with that. That doesn't have any feet to stand on. That is based on desires and based on things that are not necessarily solidly put together. So I cannot hold you to loving me unconditionally, agape, capital LOVE, if what you meant was, no, I love you like I love cookies. So I also can't hold you to, I can hold you to buying me, but I can't hold you to not devouring me like you do the bag of cookies.
Mm. Mm.
Are they
You bought me.
Lorna Doones?
Ooh,
Or
like the lemon Oreos.
are they the
Popping
Keebler,
cookies out the
the soft
oven.
batch?
What kind?
Well, that's left up to you. You know what I mean?
What
So,
cookies will you
so,
eat?
so I hold you to buying me,
Mm,
but
mm.
but you bought me, so you get to eat me. That you get what I'm saying?
Say that again.
Yeah, do that again.
You
I,
bought
I,
me,
I,
so you get to eat me.
Yeah,
Hashtag. You
I love.
I hold you. I hold you
you
to
bought
buying
me,
me.
so you get to
I
eat
can
me.
right
Oh my goodness.
especially if I'm in the market and I put myself out there in that way, the
Oh,
kind of
she
love
ready.
I
Look at
want,
her. Ready.
is just erotic love. It's just eros love. Then I can only hold you to devouring me in that way.
She was
I
ready.
can't hold you to any other type of love if that's not the same love we're talking about. That's why we have to ask the question, which love are you talking about? And you can be in, I love you unconditionally, but I also have desire for you. I also have whatever. So then now you have love, the big love, as your anchor to harness all of the other aspects of love,
I
eros, brotherly.
I generally want to know why you love me. That's usually my
That's a good
question.
question.
I love you.
Mhm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
And when?
What do you love?
When do
Ooh.
you love me?
Mm.
That's usually
Man,
my question. Hey,
what's up?
Chrissy Johnston. What if we don't know what healthy love is if we never experienced it?
Then how do we know that we haven't experienced it? See, how do we know that we haven't experienced it? Somewhere we're informed on what it is.
But shouldn't you
And the
feel?
reason I
Shouldn't
feel
it be
that is
shown?
I believe it's who we are. So to a certain degree, none of us really, and this is me, and this is the me just soapboxy right now. There's no reason we shouldn't know it if everybody walking around here claiming that they know their self.
Mm,
You don't know you then.
mm.
I don't have to. I experience it because I experience it. Let's go biblical for a minute. The scripture says, all right, scripture says, we love God because
Because
he first loved us.
read.
Right. So I do agree that there's situations where we need to see it or we need to whatever. But the truth is, love is the stuff we're made of. It's what we're made in. We're made in the image and the likeness of God that we say, at least in Christian faith, is love. Right. If we look at the pattern of what he created, how he created, and all of that rigmarole, and believe that we're made in an exact same image, we're able to experience it to a degree. Now I can say I haven't experienced it from someone else, but her question, and this is not against her question because we
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah,
unpacking her question. It's
yeah.
like somewhere in you love resides, because otherwise you wouldn't know that you didn't experience it. Does that make? Am I making sense, y'all?
I want to
Y'all
step.
feel?
I want to step even further because she specifically said, if we don't know what healthy love is, that means you've experienced unhealthy love. So if you've experienced unhealthy love, then you absolutely know what healthy love is because you know what
That's
it's
what I'm
not.
saying.
You know what
That's
it's
what I'm
not.
saying. In order to be able to phrase that and say that, how do we know what healthy love is if we've never experienced it? Well, how do you know that you've never experienced it? Something is informing you that you've never experienced it. So what is that? It's
The
healthy
the
love
the
that's telling you that.
the no, I think the pain and the hurt from the unhealthy love is telling you that you have not experienced healthy love.
So then what's healthy love?
Not
The
pain,
the
not hurt.
But if that's all you know, I think this is where
it's
she's going
all
with this question. If that's all you know, then that's all you can attest to.
it's all you can mimic. If all I know is that I've been hurt in my life, because this is how we change in the first place. People made the statement, they said, the pain I've been through, and y'all have heard me say this, the pain that I have been through in my life, I don't want to be an agent of to anybody. This is why I say I am love for you. I'm going to be the opposite of that. I didn't experience this from some people. This is me sitting with, now I have experienced it from some folk, and I believe that even she's experienced it from some people, right? It may not have been a romantic partner. It may have just been she experienced it through watching. Your experiences can come from anywhere, right? But it's saying, I know that what I feel right now as unhealthy love, I don't ever want to dish out to anybody. So it must mean that the opposite of this is what love really would be. And my mind, sometimes the question to me, and I'm saying this to say, sometimes the question is also the answer, or the answer resides in the same realm of the question. Somebody said, I think I was watching the show, and they said, if you sit in the question long enough, you'll find the answer.
Mhm.
You know, so it's like, and I think I understand what she's getting at too, because it's true. Most of us, we haven't truly experienced someone loving us. Do y'all know that there's a thing right now? And I had this conversation with my therapist, um, of emotional deprivation. I mean, it's not in the DSM, but I
Not
believe that it
yet.
should be. Not yet. They don't want to put
Not
it in there.
yet.
But emotional deprivation. It's somebody who has lived their life and not experienced, and of course, this means from other people, unconditional love. But honestly, most of us can probably like, other than your mama, and some of us can't even say our mama.
Hmm.
Who do you know that 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 they love your dirty
Your
draws
dirty draws
Thanking.
with the streaks in them.
Oh God.
with the streaks in them? Because everybody make a mess every
And
once in a
we'll
while,
wash them for you
and
and
we'll
get
wash
them
them.
streaks out.
Um, we're going into our hour and a half mark. This is heavy. This is deep. This is dope. Um, you are rocking with us. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in. For those of you who are just tuning in, who will see this later, you are tuned in to Hookups, Hangups, and Situationships from Hosted to Ghosted, featuring LeAnzar Stockley and Angel Simmons. I'm your host, Brysen Williams. I'm just kind of here to keep navigating,
She's the
but
genius
She
um,
always said, right.
fueling this train.
but if you're just tuning in, right, you guys are y'all sweet. I'm gonna send y'all $5 on Cash App for saying that.
Thank you.
If you guys are up, woo,
Girl, my
y'all
cash app
not
was probably 5 in the negative.
y'all not gonna do it. Y'all not gonna do it. If you all are just tuning in right now, if you see this later, man, go back and catch up. Go back and keep up. We are talking about, you know, the depth, or maybe not the depth, maybe the shallowness of relationships and connectivity. Um, and we have used the title, and I'm not going to front. Every time I read this title, I got to read it because it's long, but it's detailed. I love how it goes because it's real, and I think it's very specific. Now we could have used a shorter title that Merrick had for us that would have just like been spot on, but we kind
I
of
wanted
try
to
to
use it.
maintain, a little bit of, we got to put this on our resume. You know
We
what I
still
mean?
know church folk.
Hookups, hangups, and situationships from hosted to ghosted. My question is, for this last portion of this show, my question is, can you go from in either of these three realms? Can they lead you to a relationship? Can you go from being hooked up with the whoever your hookup is, whoever your booty call is, whoever your cake boo is, um, whoever your sneaky link is, or whoever your situationship is. All these things, all these terminologies, can that develop into a true and actual and genuine loving relationship with that same person? Not can you go to somebody else, but can it develop?
Absolutely. That's my thing.
I have never,
Absolutely for
I've never
300,
had that.
Are
Alex.
you are you fanning?
Right,
Yes.
he hot over there. I've never had that experience, but I can give you a statistic.
Okay.
According to blah 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 blah,
Hmm.
only 12% of young folk on these online dating apps have entered into real relationships or committed relationships or marriage.
What
Twelve
about the
percent.
old folks?
12%.
These young
Um,
folks. What
And you
about
know
the
why?
40 and up? I'm
Probably
asking
the
for a
same thing
friend.
because they young folk too. You know why
well,
we
that
can't?
yeah, that population was like 18 to 29.
Mm.
I think that it can. I think the probability, like she's saying, the probability is different, but it's also because we don't forgive.
Ooh.
We believe, one, we believe move on. We don't believe go
Ooh.
back to an ex. We don't believe go back to people that we've messed with. It happens,
Ooh, Chrissy.
but but generally speaking, we don't believe in it. I'm not going. We say it as going backwards, and to me, I look at it a little different. It's like you're not going back to the same immature person that you were with. But if we've
Mm,
matured and we've actually come to a recognition that, hey, you know what, I was in this wrong. You was in this wrong. I have a couple that I married, and one of the things that was beautiful about their story was when they told me that in a they were in a relationship and some things happened or whatever, and they had to change that relationship that they had. They are still together. What we do is we change the
But they
person
had to
instead of
go back and
changing the way
change. You
they
called it.
had to
I
change.
didn't mean to cut you off. You called it a
No, you
relational. You said that you have to create a relational. What did you call it earlier? Where
vision.
you actually
vision.
vision. Yeah. So they had to go back
Yeah,
and change their relational vision.
they had to go back and even get one
Mm,
Okay.
because it probably
Go
wasn't
find
even
you one.
because of what because and so what happens is we change the people we relating to instead of changing how we relate. And I just feel like if we keep doing it, we're going to be playing relational musical chairs the rest of our life.
Hmm.
These people are here. And again, I'm not saying this is not advocating saying you have to stay with the people that's what, but what I'm saying is if we just keep bouncing from person to person to person to person and never, you have to change how you relate. It's not always the person. If that person has grown and you have grown, or if we both come to the table and recognize we've been doing this wrong, what's wrong with being with that person? Especially if you've already been smashing and doing all this other little whatever. Why add extra people to the plate if that's not your thing?
Hmm.
You can heal. In a lot of the healing that we get, y'all, is called secondary healing. So, and for some people, it's not healing at all. It's just we got over it. Our nerve, we don't think about it no more. But we really didn't heal from it. And you notice that they didn't heal from it by the philosophy that they took when they walked away. If their
mm,
philosophy when they walked away still was, I don't trust niggas, you did not heal.
mm,
You just got over that last one. Got over that last one. And technically, you didn't get over it because now you're taking from that relationship that whatever thing was ingrained, and now you're carrying it to another one, just not thinking about them no more. And in a sense, you are thinking about them because they're the reason they're informing how you're relating to the next one in a way that may still not end up being healthy. But again, we think get rid of the person instead of getting rid of the things that came in that divided our team.
The
What
issues, right?
was it? Yeah, what was it that
Hmm.
caused y'all to not be able to make the bond? That's the principality. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? Well, we do, but the truth is we're wrestling against this. There's something in the air, and I'm just using that to use light
whew,
terms. There's something in the air that's trying to keep us from one another, and we feed right into it.
Hmm.
The real war or the real warfare is against that principality, that
mm,
thing that keeps us from being connected. How can God create? all these people, and we're one, and we're connected. Everything in the universe is connected, but we weren't meant to be together. And I don't mean that in the direct, what I'm saying humanity. None of us get along.
Mm.
None of us are, unless we're only coddling each other's pain issues.
Right.
Something ain't right about that picture. Something's not right about that. It's kind of like, mm, on a natural level, it makes no sense.
I want to go back and highlight some amazing comments from everybody that's on here because I want to make sure that everybody knows that their comments matter and their input definitely matters on this platform. Chrissy said, perhaps, excuse me, excuse me, perhaps we set an expectation and realize that we have maybe outgrown what we thought was healthy love. Um, and she also said, with that healthy love, if you ask my husband, I was supposed to be a one night stand. So,
Hmm?
you know, um, Merrick is responding based on situationships, hangups, hookups. Can they work? Can they really work and develop into something genuine? It would have worked if we both had been on the same page mentally in regards to what loving one another really meant and what it looked like. And Jocelyn said, um, based off the statement, the comment that you made, Lee, going back, going backwards. She said it can really work. That's her personal testimony. So, Jocelyn, are
That's
you
what it
with
really
your
is.
are you with your boo? You guys, I assume, dated years ago and a while ago or whatever, and you guys are together now. Is what?
Married with 8 children,
Oh, look, and eight in real life.
a
Oh,
whole
it worked. Something was working.
Something was working.
a
Something was
whole eight.
working. Something
So,
was working.
but and sometimes we just drop a pin real quick on her thing. It's like sometimes we think when we say moving on and moving forward. Honestly, God revealed this to me years ago. Sometimes that means going back.
Mm.
Again, the ministry is reconciliation.
Come on, Sankofa.
Oh yeah, I went back.
So so when we
Went
actually
back a couple
learn
of
how
times.
to, because we go back to those spaces and say, you know what, I did this wrong. It wasn't that you were the wrong person. We were in the wrong mind frame.
We're just in the wrong space.
We was in the wrong space. And and sometimes that's the truth. Sometimes you got you going on, but sometimes it's like, no, I don't need to go get nobody new. I need to go do it right with the one I had.
Listen,
And if
having to
they're
go
both
back
willing,
and apologize and reconcile,
it makes you a better person.
man, listen,
Listen, Angel,
it
it
makes
drives
every
you into,
relationship better.
because it drives you into what we're really on this planet for, to be your higher self. It drives you back to the purpose of the relationship in the first place. This is to be who we really were designed to be our higher selves. So for me to have to go back and say, you know what, I was doing this wrong. That relationship still is helping push me into the purpose of being my God self, my divine self, or whatever. It's not viewed that way, of course, but sometimes that's what's necessary.
Merrick makes an excellent reference to the old school, to the elders. That's how they were together for so many years. And nowadays, people don't think like that. And I think, to piggyback off that, I think they stayed together for so long too because they knew the true meaning of forgiveness. I don't think that people imply that as much as they used to back in the day. Our folks were very forgiving because I think we journeyed through so much, and it was like, all right, well, how do we get past this, move on? Whether it was, whatever type of relationship, just the struggle that our folks have been through. I think they have learned how to, quickly move on or journey through and forgive and still love unconditionally in their way.
And they went through stuff, because you hear people argue that all the time. They say, well,
Mm-hmm.
we ain't our grandparents, and they
Mm-hmm.
stayed together through some mess, and
Mess.
it's like, and I get that, so there's like, well, they stayed together and they weren't happy. or so I hear that in some situation, but that's not everybody's situation. A lot of these
Mm-hmm.
people, they say they stay together, and you always, I love the couple when you say, what was the secret, and they say, don't break up. That's the secret, don't break up. Because the truth is, especially in today's society, you're gonna go through with somebody. You're gonna go through something with somebody. As long as these people are human, y'all gonna go through some stuff. So, and some of it ain't gonna always look good. Some of it's gonna be that stuff that puts you on the edge to say this relationship looked like it was gonna break up, but we overcame it, for whatever reason. So I get it, and I agree with that. It's like and today you can have whatever you want when you want it. We're in a microwave prime now society.
Sure. Yep.
So I don't have to stay with you because there's so many more options out there that will give me exactly what I want. They may not make me a better person, but they will give me exactly what I want. So
And yes, I would
yeah.
rather stay with somebody and go through some stuff with who know how to order my food when I walk away from the table. I just, you know
Mm.
me. I'd rather have somebody who knows how I like the heat in the house. Somebody who knows to take care of the car and make sure my tires got air in it. I'd rather have somebody who know me when I get tired of doing this and know I'm trash. Okay, it been acting like a fool this week because that's not how I usually act. I'd rather have that person than
Mm.
jump over to somebody else who ain't seen all them faces of me, who can't order nothing, fix nothing,
Mm.
buy nothing,
You said that somebody that knows that that's not normally how I act.
knows that's not how I
That was
normally
that was
act.
that was hidden. Yeah,
So
That
that
was
was
the
on
that,
point.
when
that was
I
the
That was
am
piece
it.
a
there.
Yeah,
complete ass
We
this
need to
week, when
ask.
I'm
and
acting when I'm
love you
acting
through it.
like my initials, when I'm on that stuff, when there's something going on, and I don't want to be bothered, they
Hmm.
understand that that's not me, that ain't the real me,
So
and at the same
so
time gonna call me out on my mess.
so that's the thing of coming to. And I heard I can't remember the guy's name, but he says we ask the question a lot of times, um, what's wrong with them instead of asking what happened to them. When you ask the question of what happened to somebody and you're able to recognize they're acting out of character, um, this is Ubuntu philosophy at its best to
Hmm.
me.
Put them in a
Because again,
cycle.
in the whole Ubuntu tribe, African Ubuntu philosophy,
Hmm.
there was somebody did something that was, say, against society or against whatever. They put them in the middle of the circle and they restored them. The thief, you're not a thief. You stole something, but that ain't who you really are.
Mm.
They restore. We don't do that because we live more so when folks show you who they are, believe them.
Believe 'em.
Because again, who we are, folks, like I think honestly, who we are is a lot easier than what we have made it to be. I can look, if I believe that I know who I am, and I do believe that it's still all unfolding. I also know who you are. I didn't got to spend time with you to know that. I know who you really are. Now, your personality, because one, that can change anyway. And this is a little deeper than this conversation right now. But it's like, if I know who I am, and if we're all really truly connected, and we all came from the same source, then I also know who you are. So when you're acting outside of that character, I need to be saying what happened.
Mm.
And you may come to the table like that. What happened to you? As to why you just mean. What happened to you? Why you can't be faithful to nobody?
Just surly.
What happened to you? Why you can't? And again, you may have been this way all your life. But again, we don't know. Sometimes we don't know who we really are at a spirit level. We know who we are at a personality level, but we don't know who we are at the spirit level. Hence, relationality.
I think that is. I think that's an excellent pin. I think that's an excellent point. That was definitely a drop the mic. Hence
Mm.
relationality. Um, I think we could go on with this all night.
But
Uh,
let's not. No.
But we won't. We won't though.
I think we could
I'm
because
hungry.
I think it's so much energy behind this and so much more to discuss and so many more definitions and terminologies and shared experiences. Everybody that shared an experiences and gave their good certified 2 cents. We appreciate that. And
I
I think
love these
they're
people.
so yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Um, we are grateful, and I think this is this is gonna be there's gonna be another piggyback off of this. There's gonna be another piggyback. We will let you guys know, but I think this is an excellent stopping point. To just kind of let things marinate where they are, to just kind of let it marinate, and just kind of everybody can just kind of let it sizzle and simmer, and take what they've gotten from this and what they've sown into this, everybody included, and just kind of take that in. So for my superstar friends, you guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for bringing forth your knowledge, for sharing your expertise. I will let you both, do your thing as we often do. Let people know where to find you. Let people know where to reach you. If you have closing remarks in reference to this particular topic, or anything else that you'd like to share, that you'd like the people to be interested in, please do so. We'll start with we always start with Angel.
So,
What up?
my closing remarks would be, we're in a new season now. We just started spring. Before hot girl summer come around,
Hey,
um, I would just implore you to
implore.
take that minute, sit with yourself, look in that mirror, and think about your relational vision, as LeAnzar has instructed us. Think about this vision and what it is that you want, what it is that you're willing to give, how much work you're willing to put into it, and why. Know your why. I want you to sit with yourself. Stop looking for fulfillment in other people and other relationships and other places and spaces and crouches, and figure out what it is that you need to do for yourself to be whole and healed and fully able to really give of yourself. You can find me at angelsimmons.com. It's a lot of stuff on that website to look into. You can order books there, books like these. You can order Love's Great Design, a 52-week devotional on human relationship, how to treat each other, and Target of Love, surviving narcissistic abuse. Bryson is rocking the Don't Just Say It, Live the Love shirt. I don't know if it's any on the website, but if it is, you'll find them there. But you can order books there for you or for a friend or for both of y'all. You can find me on social media, Loves Great Design, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, as well as the Message Inc.
Yes, ma'am.
All I would say is, and it's actually in line with a question I think that Chrissy put up. She said relationships are work, and a lot of people just don't want to do it, but it's necessary if you want to stay together. People don't want to do the work anymore. I think it's what she said. Yeah, people don't want to put in work anymore. So all I would say really is, even in a sense to that, one of the reasons our relationships don't stay together is because more often than not, we're more consistent in who we're not than in who we really are at spirit soul level. So if we put the focus in really understanding who you are at a spirit soul level, I truly believe, and if we do this collectively, I truly believe our relationships will be 100% better just for that. So that's kind of like my final thing. It's always going to come back to, who do you want to be? And when I say it, I'm not just talking to the one individual that whose ear it's falling on. I'm talking to all of us
Right.
collectively. Who do you want to be? And when we really find the consistency in that, I believe that it'll inform hookups, hangups, situationships, hosting and ghosting.
Hosting and
And
ghosting.
it's like coming to that place of solidarity, I believe, is what really helps us to be wise in our relational dealings, whatever that may unfold as for wisdom. My social media, my website is www.leanzarstockley.com, and it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen, that Vanna put there. And also social media for Instagram is at Society61, and on Facebook as LeAnzar Stockley. Um, and that's it for me.
Amazing, amazing. Again, thanks to everybody who joined us. Make sure you connect with these wonderful human beings, um, and follow somebody's page, because it'll probably be Angel, because Angel is really, really good with doing this stuff, with
Hmm.
with posting and marketing and advertising and all those things. She's really, really good, and she keeps us
And
on our
making
toes. She keeps
flyers.
me
Look at
making flyers. She keeps me on my toes. I would say that. And I feel like she treats me and Lee the same. So I believe that she keeps him on his toes as well.
she's
But
nice
you
to
all,
you though.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Um, I am grateful for another opportunity to navigate these special talks, these special conversations, these very well needed conversations, these type of connections that are maybe uncomfortable, but clearly needed, for the culture, for the community. So if you guys don't mind, follow me at the original Bryson. I got a little show that I usually do on Saturday
Take
mornings.
love off of that.
I have a show that I do on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Sweet Spot Media, and we just we highlight everything. We highlight everything of the culture, independent creatives and beings, music, authors, um, all types
Artists.
of awareness, artists. Yeah. So if you don't mind, if you find it not robbery, go follow me at Sweet Spot Media. You can also follow me at the original Bryson, the original Bryson. And if you ain't talking too crazy on your page, I'll follow you back. But
Mm.
you know, we
Bryce,
appreciate it.
why you saying Merrick? Y'all should connect too, because Merrick has relationships with a lot of independent artists.
Well,
Some
me and
dope.
Merrick, we have connected.
Oh, good,
Well, we've connected social media wise, but we need
good.
to Merrick. We're gonna talk, okay? We're gonna
Eminem.
talk. We're gonna talk. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys are amazing.
Love
Um,
y'all. See you in June.
what's the next one in June? April, May?
June.
Ooh, and May. So we're doing this bi-monthly. If you
Oh,
guys
we
kind
are.
of picked up
Okay,
the
I didn't
rhythm,
know. I
we're
didn't
Oh,
doing
know.
it
Oh yeah, we didn't do nothing in March, huh? Okay, okay,
right. One,
okay.
two,
I just show up
February,
when my
March.
name is called. I just
Yes,
I just listen for my name.
yes, yes,
two words.
yes. But we'll see you. We'll see you in June. So be well. Enjoy um, this new season, this springtime. Enjoy transitioning from cuffing to getting back out there, getting off the dating scenes. Thank you for
The
rocking
cussing
with
the
us
slut.
from cuffing to slutting. Um, so if you choose to go to hookups, to hangups, to situationships, if you want to determine whether you want to host or if you choose to ghost somebody, hey, be well, be well, be well. Whatever you do it well. But at the end of the day, do it out of love. So I think you'll make the right decision after that. All right,
There we
y'all.
go. Peace, people.